Good morning dear students, welcome back to Science Online class. I hope you all are absolutely fine and doing well at your home. Dear students, in last class we have started the chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life. So dear students, what is the fundamental unit of life? That is nothing but the cell, okay, or you can say as cell is the basic unit of life of organism. So dear students, in today's class we are going to discuss some more information related to the cell concept, and as well as we are going to discuss here various cells from the human body. Okay dear students, so just let's begin today's class. So dear students, in this image what you can observe here, this is the various types of the cells in human body itself. Okay, so dear students, what are the main important cells are present in our body? That is the muscle cells, sex cells, immune cells, epithelial cells, nervous cells, blood cells, bone cells, fat cells. So each and everything is made up of cell itself in our body. So dear students, these are the various cells of human body. Okay, now let's discuss the components of cell. Okay, so when we are going to start this thing, the first thing we have to study, that is about the plasma membrane. Okay, so in the cell, the plasma membrane is surrounds the cell. So in the cell, what is the main particles are present in the cell? That is nothing but the plasma membrane. As well as the nucleus is the largest organelle in cell. Okay, so dear students, organelle means it is the organs which is present in the cell is called as the organelle. So the nucleus is the largest organelle and it is double layered nuclei or you can say nuclear envelope. Okay, so one by one we are going to discuss this nucleus membrane, plasma membrane. So we are going to discuss here now. So on this image, what you can observe here? You can observe here the typical structure of cell. Okay, typical structure of cell. So many organelles are present over here. So first thing you can observe here, plasma membrane, Golgi complex, vessels, mitochondria, free ribosomes, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, microtubules, lysosomes, ribosomes, cytoplasma, flagellum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus, nuclear envelope. So these are the some organelles which is present in cell itself. So dear students, one particular class itself I will teach you how to draw the parts of the cell. Okay dear students, so this is just keep in your mind, these are the organelles of cells. Okay, let us study one by one here. So first thing we are going to discuss here, the main cell basic unit, that is it performs all life functions like intake of food materials, excretion, metabolism, respiration, irritability. Okay, so these are the performs by food cell itself. Okay, as well as what are the division of labors, that is the cell usually possess a number of components called as a cell organelles, and each cell organelles performs different function, that is the clearing waste material in our body, to prepare proteins in our body, you can say as a protein synthesis, or you can say as a next is the lipid synthesis. So how it is possible? It is possible by cell itself. So as I told, we are going to learn what is the cell made up of, how is cell is made up. Okay, so the first thing, a cell is a very tiny mass of protoplasm which is surrounded by a membrane and it is capable of performing all functions of life. Okay, so cell is a tiny mass of protoplasm which is surrounded by a membrane. Membrane means one simple wall. Okay, so what is the capability of this membrane? It is performing all functions of life, and the typical cell is formed of 3 parts. Okay, so totally how many parts are there? Totally three parts are there. So, first one is the plasma membrane to create separate environment. Okay, what is the work of plasma membrane? To create separate environment means what is the work of wall? To differentiate the compartments. Okay, so this is the plasma membrane is plays as a creating separate environment, as well as what is the function of nucleus? To control all the activities. And next is the cytoplasma, which possessing of metabolic machinery. Okay, so this typical cell is formed of three parts. So dear students, let us discuss one by one this plasma membrane, nucleus and the plasma membrane. Okay. So when we are talking about the plasma membrane, this is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. So dear students, membrane means, as I told, it is the like a wall itself. Okay. So where the plasma membrane is existing? It is existing the upper layer, or you can say outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents. So as I told, this is the like a wall, so it separates the contents. So the plasma membrane allows or permits the entry and exit of some materials. Okay, so what is work of the plasma membrane? If any one of the solution wants to be enter into our body, so who will going to allow this thing? It is plasma membrane. It gives the permission, yes, you are able to enter into the cell. Okay, so this plasma membrane allows to permit the entry and exit of some materials, that is in and out of the cell. It also prevents movement of some other materials. Okay, if the covering will not be there, then any one of the constituent particle it can move from out to in or into out. Okay, so it also prevents the movement of some other materials. And the cell membranes therefore is called as a selectively permeable membrane. Okay, the question can be asked, write a short note on selectively permeable membrane. So you have to write about the plasma membrane. Why it is called as a selectively permeable membrane? Because it gives the permission to the materials whether they are able to enter into the cell, or they are able to out from the cell. Okay, so it gives the permission. So it is the work of plasma membrane. Okay, though here some another information about the plasma membrane, that is the plasma membrane is flexible. Okay, so which type of wall it is? It is a flexible and it is made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. So how the plasma membrane is made up? It is made up of lipids and proteins. What is the main function of the plasma membrane? That it regulates material entering and exiting the cell. Okay, so as I told, any one of the material, if they want to enter into our body, then they have to take the permission of plasma membrane. So it regulates materials enters and existing the cell. Okay, now let us discuss some few more points about the plasma membrane itself. Okay, if the question can be asked, write a short note on plasma membrane, then which points you can write here. Okay, so the outermost delicate electric membranes, the outermost delicate elastic membrane covering to the cell, that is separates its contents from the external environment, is called as a plasma membrane. Okay, so it is the separates the contents from the external environment. Already we have discussed this thing. So where it present? It is present in our cell. So it is the outermost elastic membrane, as well as this plasma membrane is selectively permeable because it allows entry of certain substances and restricting others. Okay, so it allows the permission whether they are capable to enter into body or not. Okay, so that's why it is called as a selectively permeable membrane. And how it is made up of? It is made up of bilipid layer, okay, like a sandwich. Okay, what are this bilipid layer? That is, first one is the proteins and second one is the lipids. Okay, so it is made up of bilipid layer and proteins are integrated in out and inside. Okay, so how it is made up of? It is made up of lipid layer. Okay, and the next concept is that small carbohydrates are attached at place to outer surface of lipids and proteins. Okay, so dear students, when we are talking about the plasma membrane, first thing you have to keep in your mind how it is made up of. It is made up of lipids and the proteins. So which type of layers are there? That is the bilipid layer. Okay, so between the two layers it is existing. Okay, and the small carbohydrates are here, small carbohydrates are attached at place to outer surface. So on the outer surface, what are the present there? That is the carbohydrates. And what is the main function? That, see, this function can be asked for 2 marks question. So just keep in your mind what are the functions of plasma membrane. So shape to contents of the cells as well as mechanical barriers, semi-permeable, endocytes, recognition center, flow of information, and the osmosis, cell continuity, modified to perform cell functions. So first thing, which function it is main, you have to be keep in your mind, that is it shapes to contents of the cells. Okay, so if the shell is getting any kind of the shape, it is just because of plasma membrane. Okay, as well as this also act as a mechanical barrier. Mechanical barrier means if the cell is finding any kind of the cut or any kind of the injury in that, it act as a mechanical barrier. Semi-permeable means it's like a selectively membrane which allows to give the permission whether the material should be enter into body or existing from our body. Okay, and the next is the recognition center. Okay, as well as the flow of information. Flow of information means it's like a selectively permeable membrane, so that's why it gives the permission to everything whether the flow of material should be done or not in our body. Okay, and the osmosis concept and the diffusion concept we are going to learn in the next class. Okay, so just till now you have to be keep studying all those points, and whatever points we have discussed, these all the points are important for 2 marks. Okay, so these are some functions about the plasma membrane. This is the typical structure of plasma membrane. Okay, so here what you can observe, here the plasma membrane is outer layer of the, cell. Okay, or as well as it is also called as the semi-permeable membrane or semi-plasma membrane, which allows or gives the permission to the material to enter or existing from the body. Okay, so this is the main thing you have to be keep in your mind about the plasma membrane, that is it is selectively permeable membrane. Okay, so dear students, we have discussed till now about the plasma membrane. Another concept we are going to cover in the next class. Till that time, just to go through all the points and keep studying. Okay dear students, let's meet in the next class. Have a good day. Bye bye.